Welcome to another North-South podcast. Let's get into it.
We're looking at the top one-day 11 of the 21st century, all the players that we think would make the team from the year 2000 onwards, as long as they were playing during that period. They don't necessarily have to have started or had their debut in those years. So it's been quite a difficult one, narrowing it down from 50, 60 players that come to mind to just 11.
I've got about 40. I've got about 40 alone that could easily be argued to make the list.
And I kind of also, while looking at this, I added a few more, I want to say, younger players to my
Myself
list.
as well. I think the introduction of the T20 cricket about 15 years ago speaks to that. In that ODI cricket's become, it's basically morphed into its own sort of environment, because the skills required for ODI cricket was like the tactical power play hitting, closing the innings off with a lot of runs, batting with the tail, bowling to minimize the amount of runs being given up. And I think ODI cricket allowed, I think a T20 cricket allowed players to specialize and really hone their skills. And then obviously, if you look at the graph of the run rates throughout the years, I think it would naturally lead to the best ODI players all coming from the 21st century, in my opinion. I don't have anyone before that, before the year 2000, that I'd even consider putting in the ODI squad.
Yeah, that's a good point, and that's probably also why I picked quite a few players that are still playing or recently retired.
So wouldn't that lead us to call this an all-time ODI squad, Darren?
Maybe. I wouldn't go that far yet. I wouldn't push it that far, because there's a few key people.
Okay. Like Viv Richards. I mean, obviously those kind of guys would literally do damage. Okay, so that's going to stop us. And just a quick question to you: what do you think Bradman would do in a limited overs game?
I don't know. That would be quite interesting.
Do you think he'd anchor the innings at the beginning and just play a test match type innings?
Yeah, probably one of those stroke player kind of Chandapal like innings, where it's more about the stroke play and working the ball to different areas and that, rather than blasting it around everywhere. But it would be interesting to have a Bradman in today's age in an ODI, seeing him the way he would bat, the way he would go about an innings, and I guess it would also just depend on who he's batting with. Would also make a big difference.
Yeah. I think we can both agree that our number one opening batsman is the same for both ODIs and Tests, which speaks to the caliber of the man himself. Giant man stature as well. I think I'll let you say his name.
Matthew Hayden.
Okay, good. I was nervous for a second. I thought we had someone different. No, we've got Hayden at number one then.
No, well, that's the thing. I've got someone else at number one.
Who do you have?
I've got Adam Gilchrist at number one. I think that that's his spot.
Okay. Gilchrist at number one. That's fine. I'll concede.
Yeah,
no problems with that one.
Devastating batsman. Probably some of extremely influential innings. One comes to mind is the World Cup final of 2007, I think it was, versus Sri Lanka, making a big 100 in that game. But his average is only 35 in ODI games, but I think his X factor that he brings is probably worth more than his average.
I think he sacrificed his average at the expense of getting them off to a flyer and getting the polish off the ball quite early by being aggressive, getting into the minds of the opposition. A lot of times I watched him bat second or third ball, just absolute slog it skied straight into the air. So quite a sacrificial lamb to try and just take the polish off.
And also one of the greatest wicketkeepers of all time. 417 catches and 55 stump ins. It's amazing. And then so number two, we're also probably going to have to debate this one. I had Hayden and Sehwag penciled in, but I've crossed it out. And I also thought of another X factor player, probably one of the most scariest players, very large left-hander, coming from the West Indies, Chris Gale.
Of course, but then again, Darren, I think if they had to be a T20 all-time list, I think he'd be more of a shoo-in for that instead of an ODI. Because remember, even though I have seen Chris Gayle bat the whole innings, I haven't seen it too often, eh? Because if he had batted the whole innings, he would have scored 200 multiple times in his career.
He's got 9,700 runs. His average is 37, so it's a bit low, but sixes, 275 sixes in his career, 1,073 fours in his career. The boundaries are quite a high percentage of his runs. I think that just speaks to the kind of bludgeoning force that he brings. But who would you put at number 2?
Okay, honestly speaking, I'm divided between two trains of thought here. One, in that, tactically speaking, to have two guys who just go out and blitz it to open the innings, you could win the game right there if they just stay in for 15 overs. That's the game done and dusted. But then again, I am thinking I would like someone to anchor, and two names come to mind that could anchor. One being Hashim Amla. He's done it multiple times for South Africa, anchoring the entire innings, getting a nice fat 120, 130 there. And we did neglect him in the test squad because of his late introduction into international cricket. But I think we could obviously have him there, like we said, tactically, to switch in between matches. So I think I'd just like to throw Hashim Amla in there, and I think you could match him up with someone for that second position.
Okay, but so who are we going to go for number 2 then?
I say Hashim.
Okay, we'll go, since we've got Adam Gilchrist and the bludgeoning power there, we'll go with Hashim Amla at number 2. Wow. And Chris Gayle will be relegated to the bench. He'll be one of the slickest and coolest bench warmers out there.
Mr. Cool himself, yes. Yeah. Sexually harassing reporters and whatnot as he goes along his business.
Yeah, that's fine. That's who he is. Okay, let's move on to number 3. Also,
number 4, you mean? Oh, okay. Chris Gayle's on the bench, so number 3.
Yeah, number 3. Again, pivotal position in the batting order, and I think, he's probably one of the greatest batsmen of all time. Also, quite small in stature, but not the guy you're thinking of. I've put Ricky Ponting at number 3.
What about AB de Villiers? What about Virat Kohli? What about Tendulkar? This is crazy.
That's coming later on in the list, but 3, I've gone with Ponting. He's got over 13,000 runs in ODIs, 375 matches, average of 42. But his captaincy
multiple World Cups behind him, multiple Champions trophies behind him. I think we may pretty much make him captain then if he's in the team, because I couldn't think of a better captain besides that. Yeah,
that's pretty much why I put him there, as that solid 3, and also being a pivotal captain, bringing a lot of that X factor to the team.
Agreed, yeah.
So are we going to agree that he'll be at number 3?
Yes, I wouldn't have a problem having him as my number 3 and captain as well.
Okay, so number 4, I've put in Virat Kohli.
Agreed as well.
Playing 217 ODIs he's played so far at an average of 59.5.
That is, I think we just needed to just spend some time on that in itself. We're very lucky to be living in an era where that's actually possible in ODIs.
And just watching him play is amazing. I'm pretty sure if you enjoy cricket,
these innings like no one else.
If you watch cricket quite regularly or just see him batting from time to time, you can really appreciate what kind of batsman he is, and what kind of presence he brings to the crease. Especially being one of the younger guys in the list at the moment, and he's got quite an attitude on the field, quite a I don't want to say arrogance, but I'd rather say confidence in his ability that he really portrays well in his innings, and you can see it while he bats. The amount of passion and that he brings.
I think he'll be mentioned in the same sentence as Ponting, Lara, Tendulkar, Cullis, and I think Kohli's 5 on that list in terms of the greatest of our generation. He's still building. It's scary to think that he could become better, that his average could go into the mid-60s. That is absolutely terrifying.
Well,
if he can keep that up, he'll become the Bradman of ODI cricket.
And he's just come off the 2018 year with an average of 130 in ODIs and over 1,000 runs. So, yeah, it's very.
I can't comprehend those numbers, Darren. I'm sorry, I just can't.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anything close to that before.
He is going to be one of the greatest batsmen ever in cricket history. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to number 5. And
we could put in, I think we'd have to throw Cullis into the mix there. It's someone that you do want to come in rather higher up than lower up. I see you shaking your head there through the webcam. So who would you put in at number 5?
Number 5, I've gone with AB de Villiers, Mr. 360 himself. 9,500 runs at an average of 53 in his career. Yeah, someone that can bat well with the top order as well as the lower order. Someone that can construct innings depending on the situation, and very good at manipulating teams in different scenarios. So I think that middle order position is very important, and I think one that he would flourish in.
Do you think that you picked AB de Villiers over Cullis because maybe AB de Villiers grew up in the pure ODI form, the pure ODI era, also excellent, probably shoe-in for all-time T20 player as well, over Cullis, who more, I wouldn't say struggles to get the engine ticking and get the scoreboard ticking. He's more of a stroke player, as we mentioned before. Yeah, but I think definitely AB de Villiers, ODI specialist if there ever was one, behind Virat Kohli. Spectacular things in the field, things we'll never ever see again. The run out in the 2005 series against Australia, just crazy things like that, memories that'll stick with us forever as South Africans. So you've got him at number 5.
Yeah, number 5. And yeah, I do agree with you. I think Cullis, is more suited to the Test arena in my view, whereas AB de Villiers is more suited to the ODI, although that they both perform well in the different formats. I still select them with Cullis on the Test side and more AB de Villiers on the ODI side.
I think your list was always going to be the proper one for the cricket purists. My one was going to be more based on fanfare, because when it comes to ODIs, I'm not a purist. I watch it purely for the entertainment. I am a Test cricket purist. For number 6, I just want to throw a name out there. I think he can win you a match on any day. Boom Boom Afridi. I think we've got to throw him in there. And attacking, completely underrated leg spinner, Darren. I'm sure you've seen it yourself. The guy can bowl proper leg spin at 110 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, he definitely is underrated and probably looked over for most teams. In my view, I put Mr. Cricket in at number 6, Mark Hussey. Also a really good batsman, probably quite different to Afridi. Averaging 48. He averages higher in the Test arena, but he's still pretty influential in the ODI scene. But I will sacrifice my player to put in Afridi at number 6. I think that's okay.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think you've got to have those X-factor players on any given day. They can win you the match within a period of 10, 15 overs. I think it's good to have a few of those players in. Going forward in the modern day of cricket, I think it's becoming less popular. The captains and the coaches and the selectors are going for more guys who are more Mr. Cricket, like Mr. Hussey, who are more consistent.
But yeah, I like the idea of Afridi, where you kind of can throw him around the batting order wherever. He's opened games before. He's batted down the order. He's batted high in the order. He can perform at like any number.
So for number 6, I think we should put in
number 6. Number 6 is Afridi.
Number 6
so it'll be number 7.
Number 7. I think there's a few names we need to look at before we go forward, because we have passed them up. And once you start going past 7, you can't really fit them in. ODI specialist, one of the greatest of all-time batsmen, tremendous entertainer, Kevin Peterson.
Sorry, but I've gone with the wicketkeeper batsman at number 7. Someone that we overlooked before.
MS
and
Dhoni.
Yes,
Oh,
Dhoni.
okay, yes. I thought I'd say it before. I look bad for not mentioning it. But yes, I had him there as well. But we've got Gilchrist keeping, so I guess
Well,
he'd
you
be
don't
there as
necessarily
well.
have to have him keeping.
Do you think that Dhoni's a better keeper than Gilchrist in ODIs?
I don't know. It'll be a tight one between the two of them.
I think Gilchrist is slightly more athletic, and Dhoni is. But I've never ever seen Dhoni field before. So where would you even put him? Probably at the slip or something.
Slips for the whole game.
Yeah.
So okay, for number 7, who are we going to put down?
Definitely MS Dhoni. You have to have him there. Like I said in multiple podcasts before this, the guy ended the World Cup with the 6. That gets him in any list you even mention his name on. That sort of beast mentality.
And a great captain, and brings quite a bit of leadership to the team.
Yeah, I think with Ponting being our captain, a suitable vice captain would be between AB de Villiers and MS Dhoni. Would probably be the best choice for that.
Definitely. Okay, now we're getting into the bowlers. So
okay,
8,
so do you want to
9,
go
10,
11 up? 11
okay.
up, 11, 10, 9.
11, I've gone with someone that I don't know if you've taken note of, Trent Boult. I think he's probably one of the best bowlers going around at the moment. He's got 129 wickets so far in his career. I think he's only played about 70 odd ODIs.
I mean, Darren, under 100 Test matches, do you really think it's decent enough to judge someone on that? Because if you want to throw out Trent Boult, I'll throw out someone like Jasprit Bumrah, who would you choose between the two bowlers like that? Would you still take Trent Boult?
I think so. His control and his swing, as well as the pace that he bowls. I think he's got quite a good, well-rounded package. And his death bowling in an ODI would be amazing.
It would, yeah. You do need a death bowling specialist. The art of death bowling has been lost in the last few years, I will admit, because it's quite haphazard in the T20 game. The death bowling, it's not like how it used to be in the true days of ODI cricket between like 2000 and 2010. Before T20 really took over as the main form of entertainment, the tactics were just so pure and so textbook, it could really win you or lose you the match.
So are we happy to leave Trent Boult at 11?
Darren, I'd have to concede. It sounds like if you say he's better than Jasprit Bumrah, then I'll take him at 11. I trust you in the ODI arena with that.
Okay, now we move to 10. And for number 10, I've put in one of the beauty boys of the Australian side in going in the World Cups pre 2010. Brett Lee.
Of course, yes.
380 wickets in his career, average of 23. In his early career, running in bowling 155 k's an hour, swinging the ball, bounces that will decapitate most players. I think he has to be in the side, whatever pitch you're playing on. So that's who I put at 10.
Yeah. I think we stuck because in ODIs there's an oversupply of specialists in that arena. So if you're looking at in ODIs, you can sort of look at, all right, I want a pace attack where the pace is actually going to trouble the batsman, and then you'd be looking at Shoaib Akhtar, you'd be looking at Brett Lee, and you'd be looking at Dale Steyn for those 3 positions for your speedster. But then very important for ODIs, and a name I have to mention is Chaminda Vaas, because I think throughout his career, he caused a lot of problems coming as a left-hander, bowling that sort of line and length, like we mentioned in the Test 11 with Glenn McGrath. And a third name, so for the 3 pacemen, I'd have to be considered Akhtar, Lee, and Steyn. And for the 3 seamers, I'd have Pollock, McGrath, and Chaminda Vaas. So I think you could perhaps choose 2 from that list of 6.
Yeah, I think all those players mentioned would all be in contention to be in a World 11 kind of. It's just you unfortunately you can't take 6 seamers.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can only take 2 or 3. So we'll leave Brett Lee at 10. Maybe we will have a bit of contention with my number 8, but let's get to number 9 first. Number 9, I've put Murali.
Darren, I've seen very, very good ODI squads without a spinner. South Africa is throughout the years have had very good ODI squads without a spinner inside.
Well, yeah, if you were playing a 3D, you've got your leg spinner at
attacking leg spinner at that.
Yeah. So are you saying we don't take a specialist spinner?
I don't know. I'm confused because I saw Warren literally after he retired bowl so well in the IPL that it made me think that you could literally play a player like Warren and he could keep it tight and not allow them to slog him all over the place.
Well, I think in some of the T20s past that some of the spinners have actually had some of the lowest economy rates just because they can keep it that tight, and it goes against. Well, then we even went into a period where spin bowlers were opening the innings of a T20.
I've seen that before. Yes, I've seen Afridi do that, man. Who have you seen do that? I've seen quite a few players do that.
Yeah, I've seen Warren do it before. Afridi. I can't remember all the other names, but I've Shakib Al Hassan has done it a few times.
Dude, I swear I remember Robin Peterson opening the innings once for South Africa with spin bowling, orthodox left, which I don't think we did after that. But yeah, I do remember seeing that one.
Yeah, I think when it's Robin Peterson, I think it's not going to work as well as some of the other bowlers. Kind of throwing it up there and tossing it with no spin. Kind of.
Oh, come on, Dad. The guy saved us in the 2011 World Cup in India. Never forget that, eh?
Yeah, maybe. So, are we going to leave out the spinner then for this side? We're going to take.
I think we will, eh?
We're going to leave him out.
I can't leave Murali out. I'm sorry. Okay, so we took Warren for the test squad, so I think Murali.
Okay, so for number 9, we'll stick with Murali. 503 for wickets at an average of 23.
Yeah. I think purely for the variation factor, Murali can literally bowl anything. He can bowl Murali can bowl balls that are not. They don't have names for them. They're like in between a Dusra and a flipper or something weird like that.
Yeah, I think his variation and the way he mixes things up, I think he'll keep batsmen thinking all the time, and I'm pretty sure he'll be able to keep an economy down. And yeah, generally you would, even if you had like the likes of Afridi and Murali bowling in tandem together in the middle overs, I think they could keep it quite tight and get through quite a few overs very quickly and really put a lot of pressure on batsmen.
Yeah. I think one last player who I have to mention who just peeked his head into the 21st century was Waqar Younis. Also an ODI specialist, a proponent of reverse swing, one of the greatest of all time at that. So also a very big asset to have around. But I think if we talk about the previous out-and-out pacemen, they'd probably beat him to the post there.
Okay, so now we left with just number 8. And number 8, I've gone with a fiery Australian with a very badass moustache at some point, Mitchell Johnson. I think he was, his bowling as well, swing, pace, accuracy, especially more into his career, later on into his career.
I think it's good that we put him quite high up in terms of the bowlers because he's also an incredibly underrated attacking batsman. He's put teams to the sword multiple times when they underestimated his batting ability. I've seen him do it in the Test arena, and I'm sure he could probably do it in the ODI arena. In terms of his bowling, you don't get many left armers who can really achieve that mid 150 pace consistently and do all the other tangible things like swing it and turn it off the pitch and bowl those slower balls. Also a physical specimen as well, quite an intimidating man. I've seen him live. He's quite a large individual, so I could definitely see him there at number 8.
And it was very close with that one. For number 8, I had Sean Pollock and pencil as well. Another fantastic cricketer, all-rounder, we could definitely say, with great batting capabilities, and
a guy that's definitely going on tour with the ODI 21st century guys. Definitely in the 16 that's there on match day. I think we can put him that far in.
And just also a very consistent bowler, good line and length always, and definitely a bowler that knows how to keep batsmen quiet, knows where to bowl, when to bowl, different balls, and that. Very good control. So
I think just some players on our honorables mention that we can just speak about. Do you have the list pencil down there? So you'll just go over that in its entirety in a bit.
You can do that.
I don't have it like in specific order because like I severely disagree with you on certain things, but that's just because I'm like more of a fanfare kind of guy when it comes to ODI. Just some players I want to mention. Shivnarine Chanderpaul, he was also on our honorables mention for Test. A lot of these players will be similar between the two. Shivnarine Chanderpaul, Ramnaresh Sawan from the West Indies. Another player I think also who probably could qualify to be in the 16 that go to the Test match on the day is Andrew Flintoff, one of the best all-rounders in the world if it wasn't for Cullis at the time. Paul Collingwood was a very underrated, kind of quiet guy. He showed very good captaincy and a very, very sturdy middle-order batsman in both Test and ODI. He also has very good tactical ability. I've seen him captain the England squad quite a few times. Some of the youngsters we can throw in there, guys like Joe Root, still establishing his career, but if he continues, definitely a guy that will be mentioned in future. A few X-Factor players like David Warner from Australia. I think he could win you the match in a little bit if you give him a chance. One more specialist opener like Sanath Jayasuriya, incredible longevity to continue playing professional sport well into his 40s. Just one more specialist death ball I want to mention, Lasith Malinga.
Yeah, I think all those players that you mentioned could definitely make the side. And Lasith Malinga is probably one that would be my 12th man on any day. Just with his action and that kind of that surprise factor he brings to a team. A very unique bowling action.
Another guy who could hit a specific spot on the field multiple times if you wanted him to. Incredibly accurate, but once or twice he just fling it completely wide over the slips or some nonsense like that. So, but that probably because of his action. So, do you have our complete settled choices there?
Okay, this is the complete ODI side now. Adam Gilchrist at number 1 from Australia. Number 2 is Hashim Amla from South Africa. We've got number 3, captain as well, Ricky Ponting from Australia. Number 4 is Virat Kohli from India. Number 5, AB de Villiers from South Africa. Number 6, we've got Afridi from Pakistan. Number 7, we've got MS Dhoni from India and probably vice captain. Number 8, we've got Mitchell Johnson from Australia. Number 9, Murali from Sri Lanka. We've got number 10, Brett Lee from Australia. And then we've got number 11, Trent Boult from New Zealand.
Excellent list. I have to say, if you look at the list in its entirety, I'd be comfortable putting my money on that team going in.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind placing a bet on them.
Thanks for listening, and please remember to subscribe and follow us on our different social media pages. Catch you next time.